Okay, so we've done the chromatic scale, and we've done intervals, which is the space between notes, whole tones and half tones, and we've done the major scale, which is of those intervals, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So now I'm going to attempt to explain what a key is, which is normally the first question I get. Okay, so I've got to go to the whiteboard for this. So I'll bring it down here. Share screen. Get to the top of my head for a bit. Okay, right. So, if let's do the key of C because it's always easier to explain the key of C because there are no sharps or flats. Anyway, so the key of C. Now, if we do the chromatic scale up here, starting at C, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. Okay, so if you remember, major scale was whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So we're going to go whole, 2 frets, whole, another 2 frets, half. Yeah, then we go 3 wholes, so F to G, 2 frets, G to A, 2 frets, another 2 frets, and then a half. So it's whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So that's the major scale. Okay, so let's just write out the C major scale. So it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And that can keep going. D, E, F, off the screen. Okay, so if we're playing in the key of C, then they are the only notes we use. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We don't use any other notes. Even the chords. How do we do this? So there are certain amount of chords that are in the key of C. Okay, so now this is how we make the chords. Now, if we try and put, here's my little highlighter thing. If we put C and D together, they're quite close, so they don't make a particularly pleasant noise. What does sound good is if we go C, jump one to E, and then the same again. If we go too close, they don't sound so good. It was quite so easy listening, pleasant, and so we jump to G. So this is how we make the chords. This is how we build the chords up. Okay, so we go from C to E to G. Now that makes a chord called C major. We don't bother saying major because we're lazy. Whenever I say the chord of C, I mean C major because I'm lazy. Okay, and everyone else is too. Right, so why is it a major chord? Because we get majors and minors. So it's major because. So this is the major scale here. Okay, and it goes C, D, E. So it goes from C to E. Now, all these have names. So this what's the first one called? Unison, root, the C. The D is the major second. The E is the major third. 4 is called a perfect fourth. You can think of it as a major fourth. It's the same thing, and as is the fifth. The fifth is called a perfect fifth. You can call it as a major fifth. The sixth, major sixth. The seventh is a major seventh, and the eighth is the octave, 8 oct. Okay, so they're all called that because they're part of the major scale. Yeah, major second, so it's the major scale, it's the second one. Major scale, third one. Major scale, fourth one. Okay, right. So that's why it's called the C major, because this gap here is the major third. Anything with a major third in it is going to be a major chord. Okay, so the next one, the next chord we're going to build from this scale, because we're trying to play in one key. We're going to start at D, then we're going to put F on it, and then A, and that's going to make a chord called D minor. Okay, so why is that? Why is that? I say, okay, because if we go from D to F, yeah, it's not a major third, it's a minor third. Let's have a look. So D goes 1, 2, 3 frets. That's a minor third. A major third will be F. Yeah, so it's a minor third. So that's why when we build these different chords, some of them are majors and some of them are minor, because of the interval between the first 2 notes in the chord. This first chord, it's a major third, or i.e. 4 frets different. This second chord is a minor third, which is 3 frets. Okay, so that's why some of the chords are majors and some of the minors, all in the same key. So I'm not going to go through every example, yeah, but you keep doing this thing where we'll do the next one, where you go. So let's do the next chord. So we'll build from the E, and then we'll go over 2 notes from the G and the B. Now the E to the G is only 3 frets, because that's going to be a minor again. So that's going to be E minor. And then the next chord is just going to be an F major. The next chord's going to be a G major. Next chord's going to be an A minor. This one is going to be called a B diminished. This is like a little sign for B, half diminished. It's a weird one. It's like a minor chord. Okay, then we're back to C again. We're at the end. Okay, so they are the chords in the key of C. Now, we can talk about several keys at the same time. So let's look at the key of G, for example. Okay, so the key of G. Let's do it. So the note. So so if you remember, it's whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Okay. So let's put a line under this lot. Now let's do the key of G. Key of G. The first note is G. Then you go a whole tone. Takes you to A. Then you go another whole tone, B. Then you go a half tone, C. You go a whole tone, D. Whole tone, E. Whole tone again, which is actually turns out to be an F sharp in this one. So there's 1 sharp in the key of G. And then we go a half tone again. Yeah. So you can see why. You go, well, why is that sharp then? So E, let's just qualify that. So E to F sharp is a whole tone. Yeah, it's 2 frets. Just the way it goes, okay? So they had to organise the notes somehow, and this is how they do it. Okay, so now if we built chords off all of these, yeah. So if we went through the same thing of going from the first to the third to the fifth note for the first chord, we'd come up with the same order of chords. Yeah. So the first one is always major. Major. Put a big M for major. Second chord is always minor. Third chord is always minor. Fourth chord is always major. Fifth chord is always major. Sixth chord is always minor. Seventh chord is always half diminished. And we're back to the one again. Okay, so we can talk of these in terms of numbers. Now, I have quite a big nose, and so let's do it in Roman numerals. I've got a Roman nose. Okay, so we're going to call this the 1. We're going to call this the 2. Do it lowercase because it's a minor chord. Then we're going to call this the 3. We're going to call this the 4, uppercase this time because it's a major chord. We're going to call this the 5, uppercase. We're going to call this the 6. Oh, what's that? VI. It's a minor. And this the 7. VII. Oh, that's not probably, is it? VII. That's a sort of a minor. Okay. So when we're playing a chord sequence, here's the point. Okay, when we're playing a chord sequence, I might say, well, especially at Blues Club, I might say, we'll play a 1, 4, 5. What is that? So the 1, this is the 1. So if we're in the key of G, and we're only using notes from this scale, major scale, the 1 chord will always be major, the 4 chord will always be major, and the 5 chord will always be major. So I'll be playing a 1, then a 4, then a 5. So I'll be playing G, C, and D. If I was playing in the key of C, here's the key of C, here's the notes, and here's the chords. Okay, if I was playing a 1, 4, 5, I'd be using that as the 1 because it's the first chord. I'll be using this as the 4 because it's the 4th chord. I'll be using this as the 5 chord. So if I play 1, 4, 5, I'll go C, F, G. They're all major. C major, F major, G major. It's the same. So we can talk about every key at the same time. I've run out of space on my whiteboard, so I'm not going to do any more keys. Okay, so if I talk about a 1, 4, 5, I'm talking about the first chord of the major scale, the 4th chord of the major scale, and the 5th chord of the major scale. Okay, so let's think about a pop song. Yeah, so that might go, what would that go? That'll probably have a 6 in it. So that might go 1, 6, 4, 5. Yeah, and keep going around. So 1, 6, 4, 5 in the key of G. G's always great on the guitar because it's mainly open chords. So if I go 1, that's a G. 6, which is an E minor. 4, which is a C major. 5, which is a D major. 1, 6, 4, 5. And then if I wanted to change key, say I couldn't sing those notes. Couldn't sing in that. It didn't really work for me. Didn't really match my voice. So I'm going to do it in C. So let's do a 1, 6, 4, 5. So there's the 1 here, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the 6, A minor, 4, F major, 5, G major. So I'd change the key. I play C, A minor, F, G. So that's the point in keys. Keys are a bunch of notes that all go together. Okay. A bunch of notes that all go together. And from those notes that go together, we create chords. We can extend these chords to make sevens, but we're not going to go there yet. And so, yeah, that's what it means by playing in a key. That's it. There we go. Stop.